I don't see any reason why you shouldn't be the next person to go out there and start a business, because it's not about brains, because you got those. It's not about money, because you don't really need much of that, if any. It's not about anything other than your willingness to put one foot in front of the other, step up, make it happen, start a business, do the first thing that you need to do.
This is the How to Quit Working Show. Jeff Steinman believes entrepreneurship is the only true path to freedom. That's why he created the How to Quit Working Show, where you'll hear stories, insights, and inspiration from lifestyle fanatics who left their soul-sucking 9-to-5 job forever. Now, here's your host, author, entrepreneur, and ultimate lifestyle fanatic, Jeff Steinman.
Hello and welcome to the How to Quit Working Show. We've got a great show coming up today. We're going to talk about a bunch of really interesting stuff. I'm a little tongue-tied today for some reason. Hopefully I will get the kinks worked out of my tongue as the show goes on. But we've got a couple of really interesting things today. I want to first talk about some changes we're going to be making here on the How to Quit Working Show and some really cool stuff that we've got coming up. And then I'm going to get into the topic for today, which is what to do about that feeling of not being worthy. Who am I to start a business? Who am I to go out and offer people this product or service that I'm offering? And why should anybody listen to little old me and buy from me? And I'm going to talk about how to deal with that mindset issue. And that is, by the way, what it is a mindset issue, not a real issue, not some tangible thing that you should actually be concerned about, but something that is going on in your tiny little brain. And I don't say tiny little brain to insinuate that you're not smart. I say tiny little brain to keep it in perspective, of where all of that stuff is going on. Now, before we get into all of that, I want to remind you, as I always do, that we've got this amazing place called the How to Quit Working Circle. And people who are really serious about quitting their job and starting a business and being around the other people who are doing that and other people who will support and encourage and maybe even do business with you, those folks go over to howtoquitworking.com/circle and jump into the circle, because you get an amazing Facebook community, you get a free video training series, and you get invitations to regular live events that we do and special trainings and special information and all the great stuff that we offer only to the How to Quit Working Circle members. So go over to howtoquitworking.com/circle and jump into the How to Quit Working Circle and get that amazing community and all of the great stuff that is coming up in there. Now, a couple of things that I want to talk about before we jump into the topic for today is some changes that are coming up to the How to Quit Working Show. Now, you may have noticed over the past couple of, I guess probably about 2 months, that we have done fewer of the interview shows and more of the actual not live, but like me and Heather actually talking about topics. And we are going to continue doing interviews, but we have also heard from you that you love the interviews, you love hearing the stories, but you also love hearing practical training and practical advice and things that will help you to move forward on your journey to quit your job and start a business. So we're going to be doing more of that. Now, a couple of things there are, the one thing is I'm going to be doing one episode every week. That's going to be on Monday, and that's what you're listening to now, where I'm going to teach. I'm going to teach you a concept. I'm going to talk about a concept that is important to you as you embark on this journey to quit your job and start a business. I'm going to start taking those obstacles, those things that you're thinking, those things that you're doing, those things that you're not thinking, those things that you're not doing, and talking more about how can you approach them differently and how can you really look at your life and your business and everything that you do in a different way that is going to help you to move forward out of that job into having your own business and an amazing life that you love and want to get up and do every day. And again, as we do with everything here on How to Quit Working, it's practical information. It's not it's not tactics, it's not anything that is magical, or it's not hypey. It's just the practical nuts and bolts and the real story behind all of this stuff that is going to help you on your journey. So look forward to that every Monday on the How to Quit Working show. Now, every Wednesday on the How to Quit Working show, as we always have, we're going to have an interview with an amazing entrepreneur who has accomplished some amazing stuff. And I'm always looking for some of the coolest people that I can find, some of the people with the best stories and the best information that we can possibly provide you. And that's going to be every Wednesday. Now, on the Friday show, typically Heather had been doing those. She'd been giving a great business lesson every Friday, and we've heard from you. We've heard from you how much you love the practical advice that she gives. We've heard from you how much you love the fact that she is somebody, unlike me, who has a family and understands how to balance all of the challenges and demands of being a wife and a mother with the challenges and demands of starting a business. So we know that you love that information, but as you know, Heather is embarking on her own journey and creating her own new podcast. Now, if you want more information about that, you can always go over to leap2grow.com and get more information about Heather's podcast and subscribe and listen, and you can continue to hear all of the great stuff that she does. Now, because I also know that our audience, you guys listening to this, want that information as well, we're going to be, for the next 4 weeks, we're going to be playing episodes of Heather's new podcast on the How to Quit Working show on Friday. So if you tune in to the How to Quit Working show on Friday, you're going to hear Heather's podcast for the next 4 weeks. Now, after that, I'm not sure what we're going to do. I want to be completely upfront about the fact that, in business and in podcasting and in anything that you do, you got to kind of see how things go, right? And so we're going to do that for the next 4 weeks, and after that, we're going to kind of reassess what are we going to do with the Friday shows. And if you have thoughts or input or feedback, send them to me, jeff@howtoquitworking.com, and let me know what you'd like to see on the Friday show. Maybe we'll continue to provide content from Heather. Maybe we'll do more interviews. Maybe we'll do something totally different. I don't know. The important thing is that it is there for you. It's there to meet your needs. It is there to serve you. So we want to know what you want. So send me an email, jeff@howtoquitworking.com. Let me know what you want more of on the How to Quit Working show. Let me know what you want less of on the How to Quit Working show. I love hearing from you. I love hearing your input and your feedback on what we're doing. So that's a little bit of an update on the How to Quit Working show and how that's going to continue to evolve over the next couple of weeks and months. Well, it's going to continue to evolve forever, but that is specifically what we have planned over the next couple weeks. Now, another thing that is new is that the Monday shows, I am now doing those as videos as well. So if you'd like to watch me and you'd like to see me, and if YouTube is a medium that is more convenient for you, or that you like more of that, then just go over to youtube.com/howtoquitworking, or just search for How to Quit Working on Google, and that will take you to the YouTube channel. It'll be somewhere in the list there. And subscribe to us on YouTube, because that is another medium in which we are working to reach out to people who want to quit their job and start a business. So lots of really cool, really exciting stuff coming up. Again, like I said, I'd love to hear from you, jeff@howtoquitworking.com. Just shoot me an email. Tell me what you're thinking, what's going on, and what we can do to continue to support you on your journey to quit your job and start a business. Now, as I said, these Monday episodes are going to be focused very heavily on what are the things that are stopping you? What are the things that are standing between you where you are now and you having a successful business and a life that you absolutely love every second of, that fulfills you, lets you do something that you want to do, something that matters, and something that's really important to you. And, oh, by the way, make money doing it, because isn't that kind of why we're always here doing what we're doing? We all need money. So in that vein, I wanted to start by today talking about a topic that one of our Kickstart members emailed me about. Now, we've got the new program called How to Quit Working Kickstart, and if you want more information about that, you can go over to howtoquitworking.com/kickstart. Folks are joining that and getting great results already, even though that's a relatively new program. But one of our Kickstart members emailed me over the weekend, and she said a number of things, but one of the things that she said that sort of stuck out to me was, she said, "I just feel like I'm not worthy. I feel like I'm not worthy to start a business. I feel like I'm not worthy to go out and ask people for money for doing this thing that I do. And the thing that's so interesting about that is that, you know, it's a big topic, and it's a topic that we could really get into, and don't worry, I won't, but we could really get into a lot of kind of social issues that I believe we have in this country and in the world, really, because most of these challenges that people email me about and that we talk about on the show are not unique to any country. They're kind of just unique to humanity. But I'll try to kind of skip over all of that. But I want to really dive into this topic of I'm not worthy, and where it really stems from is the fact that I think that we're all kind of taught that you should always take the high road, right? You should take the high road. You should do the thing that is easier, and you should do the thing that is least likely to fail, and you should do the thing that is the safest thing to do. And when you have been told that for 20, 25, 30, 35, 55, 65 years, however long you've been an adult living on planet Earth, when you've been told that over and over and over and over, you begin to believe that the only thing that you're capable of is following that mainstream sort of route, following that mainstream path that everybody else follows. And you begin to believe in your head that that nothing else is possible, that you cannot do anything more than that. And what that ultimately kind of breaks down to is this feeling of unworthiness. Like, who am I? Just little old me? Little old me is going to go start this business? You know, little old me, I'm just a person who does this for a job, or I'm just a person who, you know, is barely scraping by, or I'm just a person who's just trying to feed my family. So who am I to go out there and offer a product or service? And then we get into this thought pattern of, but there's so many other people out there doing it. Why would somebody buy from me instead of buying from, or buy from me instead of all the other people that they could buy products and services from? And the thing that is really worrisome for me about that is that we end up creating this situation where we're all just driven towards complete and total mediocrity. We're just driven to be mediocre. We're just driven to do only the thing that we are certain that we can absolutely do. And the result of that thought process that we get into is this feeling of, I'm not worthy. I am not worthy enough to go out and do something bigger, to go out and do something better. And what a horrible, horrible thought to put into someone's head. What a horrible, horrible way to encourage people to lead their lives, to encourage them to believe that they're not good enough, that they can't do more than just the minimum or just the normal standard path that everyone does. And for me personally, that's what really just breaks my heart about this whole world that we live in, is the degree of mediocrity that the masses of people accept in their lives. And certainly everyone has their own unique challenges and situations that makes it easier or harder for them in some aspects, easier or harder in other aspects. But we end up with in this place where we just believe that just surviving and getting by is hard enough, much less going out and actually doing something bigger and better that will improve your life. It'll improve the life of your family members and your loved ones. And I think that's just a terrible, terrible place to be. And we all kind of end up with this feeling of, I'm just not worthy. I'm not worthy enough to do this. And I want to give you today a really specific sort of a tactic to deal with that. And what this really comes down to is kind of just getting out there and manipulating your own brain and your own thoughts. And that is something that you can absolutely do. And when you can train yourself to manipulate your brain and manipulate the way you think about things, then you end up much more in control of your life and able to accomplish much bigger things. And if it sounds kind of weird to think about manipulating your own brain or playing with your head or however you want to think about it, if that sounds strange, well, I mean, it is kind of strange. It's like not something anybody ever teaches you how to do, but it's something that you absolutely can do. And if you have concerns about doing that, let me tell you this. If you don't get into your own brain and you don't manipulate your own brain and make yourself think the way you need to think to be successful, don't worry, because somebody else is going to get in there and they're going to manipulate your brain and they're going to make you think in a different way. Now, a lot of people out there will say, well, I don't let anybody into my brain. I don't let anybody influence the way I think. And that is complete and total BS. I mean, the brain is just this thing that is so completely malleable and can be formed and manipulated and twisted and turned into thinking however and whatever you want. The things that you can do with your own brain when you get in there and start flipping switches and turning screws and really trying to make it work the way you want, the things that you can do with it are phenomenal. And here's one of the techniques that I want to give you today. Now, when you're out there thinking, you're thinking, I'm not worthy, I can't do this, who am I, how should I, other people are going to do this, not me. When you're thinking that, think about somebody else that you know, and this could be somebody that you know in your personal life. This could be somebody that you don't know, that you've just read about or you saw on TV or you maybe heard them on the How to Quit Working show. Think about these other people who have done something that you wanted to do, and since this is the How to Quit Working show, let's use the example of quitting your job and starting a business as an example. Look at these other people. Look at them really closely and study them really closely and implant the thought in your head that they're not any smarter than you. They really don't have any more resources than you. They don't have any more knowledge than you. They don't have any more skills than you. When you listen to all of the interviews that we've done on the How to Quit Working show, well over 200 by now, you know that every single person who has quit their job and started a business started with their own set of unique challenges. Everybody has a different set of challenges. There's some common themes among people who do this, but every single person always has something that is very unique to them that they had to get over, that they had to deal with, that they had to get around, that they had to figure out in order to be successful. And when you look at those challenges and you view those challenges that other people have gone through the lens of, okay, well, that person went through that challenge, I've got this challenge, maybe you have a similar challenge, maybe you have a different challenge, they did it, I can do it too. They did it, I can do it too. When I first decided to start a How to Quit Working podcast, I had no idea what it was going to be about. I wanted to do a podcast, but I was like, I don't know, what's it going to be about? Am I just going to talk, or am I going to interview people, or what am I going to do? The decision that I made very early on was that I needed to show folks what's possible. I needed to show my listeners what you can do and sort of the process behind it. Because I think when we think of entrepreneurship, way too often we think of somebody that just had $1 million idea and the idea was so wonderful that everything just fell into place, and just because they had that idea in their head that they were extremely successful in business. And it never, ever, ever works that way. And I hope that if you've listened to the How to Quit Working show for any period of time, you've seen that. You've seen that there's struggle. You've seen that there are things that have to be gotten over every single time. And what I want to encourage you to do is not look at other people from the standpoint of, well, they did this and I can't do it, but look at it from the standpoint of, well, they did that and they got over XYZ challenge and I have ABC challenge and they did this and they did that and, well, I guess I could do this and I could do that. And realize that the fact of the matter is, all of these people on the show who have started successful businesses, many into the multi-millions, are not any smarter than you. Period. Your ability to start a business is not about intelligence. It is not that only the really smart people are able to start businesses. It is that the people who are motivated and the people who are willing to just do what it takes to make it happen are the ones who start successful businesses and do great things in the world. And I want you to think like one of those people. And one of the ways that you can do that is to just really train your brain to just constantly say over and over again, those people aren't any smarter than me. Those people don't really have anything that I don't have. They don't have any special advantages. I mean, I don't think we really ever had any guests on the How to Quit Working show that like had a family business handed to them. I mean, that is a specific advantage, right? I mean, if your parents have a business and they decide they want to retire and they just want to hand you the business, that's a specific advantage in business, right? I mean, there's no question about that. I don't know that any of our guests have ever had that or any other kind of really specific advantage on their journey, because I don't think I would have somebody like that on. As I think back, I think that most of our guests, if not all of them, have been people who have built businesses out of absolutely nothing. There was absolutely nothing there before, and they have built businesses out of them. Now, we've had over 200 guests on the How to Quit Working show, and I mean, it's just like this tiny little sliver. Like when you look at all of the businesses in this country, the people that we've had on the show are just this tiny, tiny little sliver. It's like they wouldn't even register as a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of a percent of the people who've started successful businesses. The next time you're driving through your town, wherever you live, it doesn't matter, drive through your town and look at all of the restaurants and the automotive repair shops and all of the billboards, anything that you see that is showing a business and that's showing a successful business, and know that somebody just like you started that business sometime. Somebody who is no different than you started that business at some time. And why did they do it and you didn't? Because they put one foot in front of the other and they made it happen, and they knew in their head that they could do it because all the other people out there starting businesses weren't any smarter than they are. This is something that for me has been a huge factor in helping me to gain the courage to move forward and do bigger and better and more exciting and more profitable things in my business, as well as when I was first getting started, is looking around at all of these other businesses and all these other people that are doing things and saying, why? Why them? Why them and not me? And that actually really gets me worked up, as you can maybe tell, and a little bit frustrated when I look out there and I see, look at all of these other people that are starting businesses. You should be one of those people as well. There is no reason why it shouldn't be you. You can talk about, oh, well, I've got this issue, I've got this challenge, there's this and there's that. Yep. Congratulations. Everybody has all of those issues and challenges and all of those things to deal with on their journey in starting a business or doing anything big and amazing. Another thing that you can do is look out there at crappy businesses. How many terrible, terrible businesses are out there? How many times have you ordered something and it wasn't the thing that you thought you were getting? Or how many times have you gone into a service-based business and received terrible service? How many times have you called some company and received terrible customer service, and maybe you waited a long time for that terrible customer service? Look at all of the terrible, terrible, terrible businesses that are out there and realize that you are probably way smarter than the people that are running those businesses, so you can do it. You can get out there and you can start your own business. You just have to step back and look at the world in a whole different way. Look at the world in terms of all of the other people out there who have started businesses, I don't know what the number is, the millions of people, probably more than that, the millions and millions and millions of people who have started businesses, and ask yourself, why are you not one of them? Why are you not one of them? I don't see a reason. I don't see any reason why you shouldn't be the next person to go out there and start a business, because it's not about brains, because you got those. It's not about money, because you don't really need much of that, if any. It's not about anything other than your willingness to put one foot in front of the other, step up, make it happen, start a business, do the first thing that you need to do today. It doesn't matter so much what that first thing is, because the first thing that you do is only the first thing that you do. You're going to do a lot of things. What matters today is not, oh my gosh, what am I going to do in 6 months when this happens, or what am I going to do in a year when that happens. You don't have to worry about that today. You just have to worry about, what is that next step that I can take today? If you're ready to take that next step, I created a program that is just for people who are ready to take that next step. Not ready to jump off the cliff, not ready to jump into the abyss and the unknown and put everything in jeopardy. People who want to just take that next step and want to be successful at what they're doing. And I've created the program called How to Quit Working Kickstart for people just like you. And the topic of this show, as I said, came from one of our new Kickstart members who asked this question about feeling that you're not worthy. And there's so much more great stuff in that program that, just like we've done here on this episode of the How to Quit Working show, changes your mind around, changes it around to being about, what can you do to be successful? How can you actually be successful? What are the things you need to do, the steps you need to take, the different ways that you need to flip your brain around and think about it differently so that you can be one of the successful people and not one of the folks sitting on the sidelines, because you deserve better. If you're ready to take that first step, go over to howtoquitworking.com/kickstart, get more information and join the Kickstart program. It is under $100, because I know that many people are not ready to make a large investment in a multi-$1,000 coaching or masterminds or what have you. It's under $100 so that it can be easy for you to take that next step. Go over to howtoquitworking.com/kickstart. I look forward to seeing you inside the Kickstart program, and I also look forward to seeing you next time on the next episode of the How to Quit Working show.
Thanks for joining us on the How to Quit Working show. Tune in next time when we'll talk to another amazing person just like you, who is now living the ultimate life of freedom and doing it on their terms. If you want to learn how to quit working and get these episodes delivered directly to you, visit howtoquitworkingshow.com.